welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something pretty fun. A real dream matchup from the action movie world.
Oh, yeah. Who we got?
Dolph Lundgren versus Jackie Chan. Both in their prime, of course.
Wow. Okay, that's a clash of styles right there.
Exactly. And we've got some analysis that digs into their strengths, weaknesses, and tries to pick a winner.
So that's our mission. Unpack these styles and see who this analysis thinks would come out on top.
Pretty much. Understand the contrast and, figure out the likely outcome in this, hypothetical fight.
Sounds good. So Dolph Lundgren first. The analysis paints him as, well, huge.
Yeah, the towering Swede, right? Like 6'5", that height, that reach. It's a big deal straight away.
Definitely physical presence. And it's not just size, is it? The analysis mentions his martial arts background.
Right, Kyokushin karate, which isn't exactly ballet. We're talking full contact, powerful strike.
Brutal brawn, basically. Channeled through serious training, a third dan black belt, wasn't it?
Yeah, and experience in actual full contact tournaments. You can just imagine the force behind his hits. Plus, and this is kind of wild, the guy's a chemical engineer.
No way, really?
Yeah.
So smart and incredibly strong. That's unexpected.
Adds a layer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the fighting style, according to this source, it really leans on those devastating strikes, using his size and reach, commanding presence.
Okay. So pure power, overwhelming force. Got it.
Now flip that coin completely.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah, yes. Where Dolph is the mountain and Jackie's more like water, right? Agile brilliance.
Totally. The analysis highlights his adaptability. That comes from his time at the Peking Opera School.
Which was incredibly demanding training, not just performance, but intense physical discipline, acrobatics.
Exactly. So he ends up mastering multiple martial arts styles, but he blends it all together. Acrobatics, speed, and just, sheer creativity.
You see it in his films all the time, that legendary agility, the reflexes. Unbelievable.
And the analysis points out his pain tolerance, too.
Yeah.
Well, he had to develop that with all those stunts.
No kidding.
Yeah.
But the key thing, maybe, is how he uses the environment.
Yes. That's maybe his signature, isn't it? Ladders, chairs, anything. It becomes part of his flow, a weapon.
Makes him incredibly unpredictable. Precision mixed with improvisation. A world away from Lundgren's direct power.
So a classic stylistic matchup.
Yeah.
Power versus speed and cleverness.
Precisely.
Okay, let's get to the core question then. The hypothetical fight. What does the analysis say happens when they, actually go head-to-head?
Well, the source draws a really important line depending on the where.
Context matters. Like in a ring.
Yeah, exactly. In a controlled setting, like a boxing or karate ring, the thinking is Lundgren's raw power and reach could dominate. Less room for Jackie to maneuver, more chance for Dolph to land those heavy hits.
Makes sense. Confined space favors the bigger, harder hitter.
Probably. But take away the ropes, the rules, make it a real no-holds-barred situation.
Okay, yeah. Like a street fight or maybe a movie set warehouse fight.
Something like that. Then, the analysis argues, things shift. Freedom of movement, improvisation, using surroundings, endurance. These become way more important.
And that's Jackie Chan territory.
That's what the analysis suggests, yeah. His versatility, his ability to adapt and use the environment, that's seen as the deciding factor there.
So after all that, considering everything, the final verdict from this source.
It's pretty clear-cut in the analysis. Jackie Chan takes the win.
Wow, okay. So the adaptable skill beats the raw power, at least in an unrestricted fight.
That seems to be the takeaway. It really underlines how much the rules of engagement, or the lack of them, can change everything.
It's a great point. It's not always about who's strongest in one specific way, but maybe who can use their strengths best in a given situation.
Right. Adaptability is a kind of superpower itself, especially when things get messy and unpredictable. Strategy matters just as much as strength.
Yeah, absolutely. Leveraging what you've got in the smartest way. So maybe something to you listening to think about. What other dream matchups could be totally flipped, depending on the environment or the rules?
Interesting thought, how context really can be king. It shows how different kinds of strengths play off each other, doesn't it?